What is going on, guys? It's Chiba here, and today we are going to solve the main quest for Kowakujo. As always, the first thing you want to do is complete the main quest objectives that will be given to you at the start of the game. This time you will have to conquer 2 flags. By conquering the 2 flags, you will gain access to a new path that will lead you to the World Seed. So unlock the door and proceed along the way. Before you can access the World Seed, you will actually have to fight a Oni that will spawn in front of the door. To defeat the Oni more easily, shoot him at the head and he will lose the mask and it will receive way more damage. Once killed, he will drop the very first evidence, which is the motive evidence, and then you can open the door finally and head to the World Seed. Now you will have to get zombies to go near it and they will glow purple, and then you will have to kill a bunch of them until the Pack-a-Punch is unlocked. Moving on, we will actually get the Wonder Weapon, so we will need to collect some parts to do it, and now I will show you exactly where to find them. One of the parts we need is this Neko, and he will spawn at these 3 locations. 2 spawns at the kitchen and 1 at the gatehouse. The next part we need is this bell that can be found at 3 different locations, one of which being the stables. So pick it up and we can move to the Karakuri doll that can be found at Takeo's mansion, and it will also spawn at 3 different locations around the house. Once you got all the 3 parts, you can go to the Takeo mansion. At the top there will be a crafting workbench where you can actually craft the Maneki Neko. Now that we have got it, for the next step we will need to get down the cat cage, and we will actually need a PhD flopper perk for this step. And what you want to do is head to this exact location and dolphin dive to get the cage to fall down. Now grab the cage and head to the nearest pool of lava and drop the cat inside the lava. Now it gets a little bit trickier because we will actually need to find paw prints around the map, and they will be at 3 main locations, and they will be at the main entrances of the stable, kitchen and flower garden. You will have to kill zombies on the spot to make the paw prints reveal to yourself, and you have to do it until a circle of paw prints is revealed on the ground. After that, throw an echo bomb in the middle of it and it will spawn an abomination that you will need to defeat, and then it will set the cat free. For the paw prints, it is only necessary to shoot 1 zombie per set of paw prints and it will reveal them. For the next step, there will be 3 more locations where the cat will be sleeping, and all you have to do is sneak up to him and pick him up without being spotted. To do so, it is better to have that perception because you will see the floorboard that will be creaking when you step on them. So with the depth perception it is super easy, you can see the pet and you can sneak up to the cat easily, and then you will be able to pick him up with the interaction button. Now that you have got the cat, you will have to take him to the World Seed, where he will be jumping on the seed, and then it will play a little animation and he will be trapped. At this point the World Seed will be pulsing and it will damage you. All you have to do is melee it until it drops the cat. Pick up the cat and you have the Wonder Weapon. Now that we have got the first part of this track done, the next part will consist in 5 sets of evidence that we will need to find in order to solve the Takeo father murder case. I will now show you how to get the evidence in order, so let's start from the suspect evidence. This particular evidence will require you to light the lantern as fast as possible in all the map. There will be 11 lanterns and you will be able to light them up using the Necromancer Wonder Weapon. Use this optimized path to light the lanterns because you will need to be as fast as possible and not even miss a shot, because the challenge will otherwise fail and you will have to start a new round to try it again. Once you have lighted all the lanterns, you can go back to the castle and there will be a ghost line on the ground, and if you interact with it, a cinematic will start. You will be presented with Takeo father on the ground and they will think that Takeo killed him. Once the cinematic is done, you can go and run to the roof and take the ninja kite and force it to go to the right of the tree. Start spamming your keys as soon as you get just before the tree. Now start spamming the interaction button because there will be a kitsune mask that has spawned here on the roof. Going back into the mansion, there will be a wall with a lot of masks and there will be a missing mask at the center. Place the kitsune mask here and then by interacting again you can start a lockdown minigame, which is basically the usual Simon Says minigame. And all you have to do is follow the order which the mask presents you and kill the zombies with the mask in the same exact order. You will actually have to do this 3 times, and each time it will get a little bit harder by adding an extra mask to the order. Make sure to clear all the normal zombies first and then have something to distract the zombies with the mask, because if you fail this you will have to go to the next round to try it again. If done correctly, the mask will glow blue and then a ghost will appear. Once you finish its animation and take the mask will fly to 3 main locations. The first location is here in a room nearby, and the mask will be on the left of the stairs. You will have to shoot the mask to send it to the next location. Each time you shoot the mask, it will drop a piece of evidence. Make sure to take it. The locations are all within the area. The next location is here on the roof. Shoot it and pick up the evidence. Now move to this corridor, because the next place will be just outside a window nearby. As you can see, the mask will be here on the top left. Shoot it and pick up the last piece of evidence. The mask will now move and land into the wall seed. And that's it. You can now take the evidence to the evidence room, and by interacting with the shelf you will place all the key items down, and a portrait of a kitsune will appear on the wall as your first set of evidence is complete. Now, before moving forward, I recommend you pick up some key items that you will need to move forward in the Easter egg, otherwise you will not be able to proceed with some steps. The first thing you need to pick up is a little piece of paper that is found at the bottom of a shelf on the left where you killed the first Oni. In the same place, a little bit to the right, there will be a little piece of ceramic. Pick it up and move forward. The next key item we want is an empty pouch that is found on top of this wooden plank in the room where the crafting table is. To get the empty pouch down, shoot it with the alternate fire of the wonder weapon or use an explosive. Next, you want to fill the empty pouch with volcanic ash, and to do so you will need to find an active fissure, and you will have to stand nearby or on top of it for at least 30 seconds or a minute. Make sure to have something like the wisp or the ability to heal you, and at some point you will receive the volcanic ash. Next, you want to get the monk shoot bud that is located on the left of the bridge at the flower garden. Finally, we want to get the coin purse, and to do so we will need the Maneki Neko again, and we will need to locate a mystery box location that will have a Japanese gold tag on it. You will need to have the mystery box at this location, so make sure to use a fire sale gobblegum to speed up the process. So throw the Maneki Neko in front of the box and take a spin. If done correctly, you will get a coin purse out of the mystery box. Next, go to the spawn area and go nearby the inducer. You will notice that the purse will now fly around and stop there. Interact with it and a little cinematic with 2 ghosts will start. Now you have unlocked a new set of steps, so let's move on to the second set of evidence. For the first part of the accomplished evidence, you want to head to the kitchen and you have to knife these tomatoes here on top of the shelf to make 1 drop. Now, if you flip it around, a zombie should pick up the tomato, and you will want to make him follow you and take him in front of the window of this building I am right now, and you want to kill him. He will drop the tomato on the ground and a merchant will spawn. Kill him as fast as you can and he will drop a piece of evidence and another piece of paper that will be another clue. Now you will want to water 3 plants that spawned at the flower garden, so you will need a bucket. Fill up the bucket with water and don't run or jump, because you will spill out water and you will need to go back again. Go back to the flower garden, and these are the 3 plants that you want to water. There are 2 on the sides and 1 on the other. So you either turn around or go fill back the bucket and go back to the flower garden again. If done correctly, the gardener will spawn and 2 plants at the sides of the flower garden will start glowing, and they will render the gardener immune. You want to shoot both of these plants to take down the immunity and be able to kill the gardener. He will drop another clue and another piece of evidence. The next part has been unfortunately cheated, and what you need to do is get the decoy, and you will need 3 decoys in order to proceed. To do so, you either have a mule kick and the augment, or have a friend throw another decoy, or even have an ammo cache until you drop quickly 3 decoys. So what you need to do is throw a decoy on each window on this building. The windows will open up and there will be a zombie throwing bombs at you, and you will have to catch them and throw them back to him until you kill him. Once you kill him, he will drop another piece of clue and the last piece of evidence. Take the evidence to the evidence room and the second painting will be revealed. Next we are getting the poison evidence, so go back to the kitchen and there will be a basket of green fruit on top of the shelf. Knife it again as we did with the other and it will drop to the ground. Jump on it 3 times this time and it will reveal a plum pit. Pick it up and let's move on. Next you want to head at the entrance of the castle and place the plant that we picked up before into this vase. Next you need to knife an alive sakura tree to get the buff and then run back to the entrance of the castle. The next thing you want to do is run in circle in front of the flower pot until it glows pink. It will then stop glowing and you will be able to pick up another piece of evidence. In order to move on, we will need the last key item. To get it, go back to the castle and you will find this set of scrolls. You will have to melee them to get them pushed inside and only the centerpiece will need to stick out. It really is a quick puzzle, eventually you will get it, and when you got it, it will play an animation and drop the last key item. For the next piece of evidence, you will need to go to the arsenal and get yourself a weapon with brain rot. Next, go to the kitchen and interact with this bowl. You will now need to fill it by killing a bunch of zombies using brain rot. Once completed, it will glow blue and you'll be able to interact with it and another blue ghost will appear. As soon as the interaction is done, turn around and you'll be able to finally pick up the infamous pufferfish. Again, place the evidence to reveal the third painting and now we will move to the fourth set of evidence. Before moving on, interact with the painting we just unlocked to get another ceramic shard. Now head to this workbench and you will be able to repair this bowl. Once you got it repaired, flip it around and you will be able to interact with it and get another Blue Ghost cinematic. You will now have to use the bowl in 3 different locations, but the order you will do it matters, so make sure to remember which item you pick up first in which location. So at the castle, this is the first location you will interact with on the ground. You will be able to place down the bowl and 10 zombies will arrive and you will have to kill them and defend the bowl. Nearby there will also be a painting, so make sure to also note that painting. You will know what you need this for later. The next location is here at the garden. Place the bowl to the ground and do the same. And finally the last location is at the war room in this corner. This time, if done correctly, a very distinguished woofing dog will arrive and you will have to chase him. He will usually be at this location and you will have to kill him to get the last piece of evidence. Now that you got the last piece of location evidence, take it to the evidence room as well and it will reveal the fourth painting. Before moving to the next set of evidence, there is an important piece of information we are missing and you can also get it early in the game, and what you have to do is go to the flower garden and activate the traps. Get the traps to do a bunch of kills, and if you go to the back, a ghost guard will spawn and if you interact with him, he will give you another piece of information. Also note that he can say that he has seen nothing suspicious, so there could be something else around the map, but at the moment I don't really know. So if that's the case, make sure to watch the guide on my website because I will update it with new infos. But now let's move on with the last set of evidence. For the motive evidence, you want to first head to the stables, and when the lava has solidified, you want to throw a molotov in this location and it will drop another piece of evidence. You can also get this very early in the game. For the very last piece of evidence, you now have to go back to the rubbles in the castle and now a clock will show up. Interact with the clock and it will push you back. Interact with it again and this time it will give you 4 numbers. Note them down and move to the next step. All you have to do now is flip the round and a defense round will start, rush to it and defend. Once you complete the defense round, you will notice that in this area several flags have now spawned. Each flag represents a number. You will now have to use the numbers you noted down from the clock. You can now notice that in the middle of the map, at the stables, at the Wisp Tea and at the spawn, 4 numbers have appeared on the wall. So all you have to do is pick up the flags and make the numbers you have got from the clock. Actually, the numbers on the walls change every game and so the flags. So for example, if your first number is at spawn, so if your first number was 2, you will place the flag that resembles 2 in this place. If your second place was the Wisp Tea and if your second number on the clock was 5, you will place the flag 5 in the little bamboo thing at this location. If by any chance it seems you didn't get enough flags or if you have bigger numbers, you can combine 2 flags in one location. Once you're sure you got all the flags in the correct location, go back to the clock and interact with it and you will be able to get the last piece of evidence. Place it in the evidence room to reveal the last painting and the fun now begins. What's left now is resolving the murder case. The most important clue you want to look at are the one that says the cause of death and the other that says the exact timing for the poisons. Now you will have to guess the correct piece of evidence to place under the corresponding painting. The first is always the comb, the second one will be what the guard told you at the flower garden. So out of the 3 items in the second evidence slot, it will be the noble set for me because he said he's seen a noble person. The third slot is the poison, so in my case, based on the note, it was the pufferfish. Because in my run it says it is something about emesis, so this is the pufferfish for me. The fourth slot will have a picture on the painting, and this is the picture I told you to remember before with the item. For example, the corresponding picture for me it is at the war room, and since it was the last one for me, it was the item dropped by the dog, which is the tea flask. And the fifth piece is always the medallion. Finally, you will have to set the clock with the hour of death. In my case, it says the hour of death is the ox. In my case, the cause of death was the pufferfish, so if the paper says 3 hours, you will have to set it 3 hours before the hour of the ox. So looking at this image I found on the internet, if it said 1 hour it will be on the rat, if it said 2 hours it will be on the pig, if it said 3 hours it will be on the dog. Once you're done placing all the evidence, interact with the 2 ink sensor on the sides, and if you get it wrong, Aoni will spawn, and if you get it right, an orb of light will spawn instead. Interact and chase the orb to the war seed, and here you will be teleported to a mini boss fight. Now you will fight an Oni, and you will have to deal enough damage until he transforms into Flying Mask. Then you will have to shoot down and find him in the correct mask, it then will reappear and you can kill him. Once you defeat him, you will be teleported out and an animation with Nyxara will play. When she fly away, you will unlock a secret kite to go to the boss fight. Make sure you're ready and you can fly straight up to the boss fight. In the boss fight, you will have to capture the flag and its zone, and for the first time ever, at least for solo, there seems to be a bunch of goodies. So for example, if you didn't upgrade your weapon to Pack-a-Punch level 3, you will get a free Pack-a-Punch. Every time you catch the flag and capture the zone, you will be invincible for a brief amount of time and you will be able to do a lot of damage to Nyxara. Once the zone goes off, there will be an Oni that spawns with a flag, you will have to kill him and capture the flag and go back to the zone and again damage Nyxara. And that's all, so the boss fight plays the same and is easy. I will update the guide on my website with more info, so make sure to check it out. If it was useful, like, subscribe, do whatever you want. Bye, from Chibe is everything.